And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas. And as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle. So check me out there and also check out Coach B. It is DVL. No, it's Blue DVL21 at Twitter. So check him out there for all our takes on the USC Trojans. And as you watch this program, we've been talking about the what needs to happen at quarterback. We really just wanted them both to play. And I think Coach B was the one who talked about this was a situation where he didn't really feel fully comfortable with LaMelo Moss. He thought he didn't do anything dynamic enough to keep the job. And I think that's kind of been the case. I think the biggest reason why he lost the job is, yes, he did not do anything dynamic with his legs, and he's can be very difficult to watch as far as throwing the football sometimes. Accuracy can be up and down, but he didn't take care of the football. Like that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing in the whole thing. He just did not take care of the football. And that was pretty much the biggest thing about it. And he threw some of the most kick you in the you know what, no square, if you will, um interceptions. Like he threw some of the worst ints you could possibly ever see somebody throw, and they just took your heart out. And took your heart out of the team, took your heart out as a fan. It was frustrating. It was really frustrating to watch him throw those kind of interceptions, and that's the reason why he doesn't have a job anymore as far as being the quarterback of USC. Now we all wish it happened earlier and all that stuff like that, and I just wish that he saw this and just from the get-go of this season, if you don't have a superstar quarterback, then play both of them. We just play Washington. They play two quarterbacks. Texas plays two quarterbacks at times. Like there's a lot of really good teams that play two quarterbacks. And if you don't have a mega superstar at the quarterback position, then play two of them. And usually when that happens, you have one who is a pocket passer and one who can get out on the edge. And that's what Jayden Mayava can do. He can get out on the edge and make plays. And he has a live arm. Now that arm can be, we'll get into that arm a little bit later, but that arm can be up and down. But but when things go wrong, he can just tuck it in and just go. I think that's something that you got to really look at when you look at him. The just from the bowl game itself, he had this. He always had that memory of that bowl game, that memory of the 6 touchdown passes against Louisville. That night was great. I was there. I was on the field. It was fun. It was really a cool SC thing. But we're SC, and they have higher goals and higher attributes and higher things they want to reach, higher things they want to reach than the Holiday Bowl. I mean, it's just that simple. They have to be better and get to bigger bowl games and get to the college football playoff. They still haven't gone to the college football playoff. We're in year 3 of Lincoln Riley. So, when people say that they're young here, they're young there, like how old they got to be to start winning. These games were like the thing that's really frustrating is these games were on Miller Moss and these games were on Lincoln Riley. But with that, with the bowl, when we talk about the bowl game, and it's just he had your first inclination was to go out into the portal. When you're looking around, your first inclination was to go out there and find, and talk and introduce yourself to Will Howard. Will Howard was in Los Angeles. He was taking pictures from the Coliseum. All those things your first inclination was to go out there and get a big, powerful running quarterback who can bowl people over at times, make people miss, can do some of the things that you like to do, but yet still get everybody else involved. He's having a he's for a guy who was really, I was told that he wasn't really a really good passer of the football. Like he's been pretty good. He's been really, really good. So for them. So for Ohio State and Chip Kelly in that offense. So I mean that's something where if your first inclination was to go there, then you should have went there. And regardless of what you saw in a bowl game, like that's something where you could have take the heat early for Miller Moss transferring and and going somewhere else, like you got to ask yourself a question. Like all these guys who transfer from SC, like Demani Jackson is starting for Alabama, but nobody else is really doing anything. And Miller Moss is a starting quarterback in Division 1, but he's just not a starting quarterback in the Big Ten or at SC. And if you are going to make him the starting quarterback, this is where you get back to like Riley. You got to make it. You got to make sure you run the football. You can't sit there and not run the football. And running the football protects him from himself. Him going on the road throwing the ball 50 times and your pass rush ratio is like 70% to 30%. That can't be. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Like that can't be like that's not going to result in wins. So this idea that we're going to just pass our way to victories on the road in the Big Ten, there's a reason why you went over the season on on the road in the Big Ten. Over the season. That's bad. Over the season. And every game you had a lead going into the fourth quarter. If USC just split those games and had 3 losses right now, it would be like you would be we would it would you could live. You could live. You go 2-1 in the last four. I mean, the last 3 games, and then you're like, okay, you're 8-4. You know, go get him again. Go get him again next year. Get the recruits coming in. That's not a thing. This whole like keep losing these close games because you refuse to run it. That would help Miller Moss, but it didn't. But Miller Moss, like he didn't get wronged in this situation. When you turn the ball over as many times as he does, and in the most critical times in these games as he does, you deserve to get sit. You deserve to sit down. He earned the spot. He may have earned the spot to start, or he also earned the spot to sit. All right. As far as his mom goes, like on Twitter, like nobody should be just leave the woman alone. Like she's heartbroken. It's her son's dream to be at SC. Like, her son's getting benched. She's frustrated by the whole situation. So yeah, exactly. With that being said, like just don't. I mean, I would just suggest fans just let her pop off and let her release all her anger or whatever. But don't. I mean, I'm not going to engage with the starting quarterback's mom on Twitter, on social media. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like she's obviously frustrated. She loves the school. He loves the school, and now he's not starting. He's not starting quarterback anymore. And she's gonna, she's just gonna do what moms do. They're gonna try to protect their sons. So people really need to move on from that as well, um, as far as that goes. And I just feel like he was the wrong choice from day one. So that's the biggest thing. Those brutal picks, all those things like that. It was a situation where it was it was the wrong pick. This is not an offense where pocket passers come in droves. You know the list of players. You know the Kyler Murray. You know the Baker Mayfields. You know the Caleb Williams. You know all these quarterbacks, and none of them are guys who are drop back passers. They're not. It's that simple. It's that simple. Really, 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 really simple. Jayden Mayava now takes over the reins. The running ability is there. He has a big arm. You got to worry about his decision making within the intermediate passing game. So that's not something you got to look at as well. Some of his deep balls can be a little errant, but you would have to think that Lincoln Riley has worked with this young man since he got there. All the quarterback drills, everything to get him ready and rep him up for this moment. And there's gonna be some nervous moments in that game. He might turn the ball over and get picked off at least once in a game against Nebraska. Nebraska's a good defensive team. Their defensive coordinator was a finalist for the job at USC. So he's a good coordinator. They went at at Ohio State and almost won the game, and solely on their defense because defense was so good. So when they come in, so rookie is he's not a rookie quarterback, and he actually has more playing experience than Miller Moss. He started almost the entire year as a freshman at UNLV in that go offense. So like he can play. Like he can play, but can he play Big Ten football? That's the question. Can he take care of the football? Is when he gets hit, is he going to cough it up? When they disguise coverages, is he going to be able to read that and be able to hit the open man in stride? Or is the ball's a little bit behind him? All those things like that, the timing of it right now. I'm sure that's what all they're working on right now. I think this is a perfect opportunity. They had a late media dump for it. So it was like right after the Monday Night Football game, you got the news about it. And then after that, they have 2 weeks to prepare to get them ready, and we'll see what Jayden Mayava brings to the table. Our next show, we're gonna do some all 22 stuff with Jayden Mayava. Hopefully, it gets to stay up on the site. But I'll do some videos on that, and then you can find him on Twitter as well. We have some time to get before that next game, but it would be nice to get a win against Nebraska, have some good quarterback play throughout the whole game, so we can actually kind of enjoy, some USC football um, uh, out here in Los Angeles because it's just been brutal to watch this team, and they play hard. He has not lost a locker room and things like that. He hasn't. But it is frustrating to keep losing these close games and watching some of these teams play the week before, and next thing you know, it's a close game with USC and they lose that game. It's really, this season has been pretty crazy in college football because there has been a just a lot of parity. Like you go, Northwestern destroys Maryland, Maryland comes to beat USC. Like it's a weird dynamic going on in college football as far as that goes. All right, so by right USC podcast. Wanted to hit up one more topic before we go, and that's Cole Leinert. Matt Leinert's son he chose SMU. And like I said, with the quarterback situation, I am semi in recruiting. I'm not really into recruiting as much as a lot of people are. A lot of people are really big in recruiting. I would say with the Cole Leinart things, I think that SMU is probably a program that is definitely on the rise. I know for some people, they might look at the situation and say, hey, why wouldn't he go to, like if Cole Leinart is going to be a big time prospect, SMU isn't the school. So that's why I'm not really worried about him going to SMU. I know other people are like, as a legacy kid, he didn't want to he didn't want to sit on his bench. He's probably been at you have people like Miller Moss who've been SC their whole life, who want to go to SC and that's it. And then you have people who are SC their whole life, like Cole Leinart probably, and said, you know what, I'd rather go somewhere else, Dad. I know, there's I can see Matt Leinart hangs out with Ted Cruz as well. Like he's out there in Texas, so it's not going to be a big deal. He travels for his job anyway, doing stuff for Fox or whatever. So like at the end of the day, like it's not going to really affect anything too much. But we'll see how good he is, and then people could cry about saying, "Hey, we don't get California people. We don't get 5 California players." Stuff like that. So the quarterback position, as long as Juju stays a big, green go towards SC, I don't think we should. I don't think we worry about quarterback. I don't think. I think the biggest question is: does he play? Does Juju play Week 1, 2025? Like that's the question that we have to always ask: is a 17-year-old, 18-year-old with that build and that frame going to be ready to play Big Ten football? Like that's a big question. I mean, or is he going to be willing to sit for a season while Jayden Mayava or another person comes in and helps USC, just to be that one year stepping guy, that 1 year fit, that bridge to Juju. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. All right, so nobody right USC podcast. Next time we will talk about well, I'll show you some stuff about some all 22 coaches film about with Jayden Mayava. We'll see what we can find out there, and then you can take a look for yourself. If it gets taken down from here, I'll throw it on Twitter. All right, peace. Fight on.